Anyways, what's up, player haters? Oh my god, I'm seeing myself out.
Oh, is that? Is that what we're calling our fan base, player haters?
Oh my god.
Dang, but yeah, thanks guys for coming back with another episode. We have a guest here today, friend of Alison. Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hello everyone, my name is Peter Rono. I sing in a band called Kaonashi, and I'm here to get spooky. Ooh.
Ooh, he knows our sound. He knows our signature spooky sound.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
my god,
man.
this is so exciting.
So,
Okay, so before we start, what do y'all know? How was today?
Today was really
you
good.
guys?
I actually just got back home. I was back home for Easter weekend, and
right.
it was just 3 days of cooking and cleaning and playing Nintendo Switch with my little sister. But now I'm back. I
Nice.
came home to, if it's okay if I show this,
Yeah.
my new NutriBullet replacement cup. So I'm hyped for that. I can make some smoothies tonight.
Nice.
And yeah.
Why did you show that? That's so offensive.
No?
That's prohibited.
We're gonna get
Listen.
demonetized.
On our
Free
show.
speech. But it's a good Monday. It's a great Monday.
Yeah, mine was pretty chill. I had to take my dog to the vet. He's got 3 shots today. He's sleeping. He's sad.
Oh, right there.
What'd he get?
Well, he was due for his vaccines. It was just his yearly appointment, and he gets it all done at once because it like knocks him out. He takes shots
Right.
hard. He's a big baby. But yeah, that was about the highlight of my day.
Nice.
What about you, Allison?
Well, I just got done, I think I messaged you like a crazy person earlier, and then I just went on like a really long rant about it. I won't shut
I
the
wanna
hell
hear
up
about
about
it
it, but okay. I was on an 8-hour conference call at
Good
work
Lord.
with all these people, and my card declined on my 30-minute lunch break. I just wanted a freaking
Oh.
Cali burrito. And so, like, 9 or 10 hours later, I drag my carcass down to the taqueria, and I get a freaking Cali burrito, and I engorged myself so hard, like, 2 seconds before this. Like, I might fall asleep. So
I'll
I'm
just clap.
sorry if I'm just gone.
Just be yourself. Like, it's
Yeah,
all good.
If you gotta take a nap, you gotta take a nap. I'm not here to
For
judge.
sure.
We're just here to talk about
Right.
scary stuff.
Live stream.
Dang. But
That
yeah.
would be so fun to watch sleep. That's really creepy. But no, listen,
Just-
like, I have, like, I think I have now what you had in high school. The fucking
Oh, I still
restless
have
leg
that.
syndrome.
It's not fun.
Because everyone tells me, like, if people are over or like Riley's there, it'll just be the dead of night, and I will start kicking, like thrashing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Do you do that?
It's also when I'm like trying to fall asleep. It feels like tingly, like it's like half asleep, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, it's uncomfortable. I have to move it, but it hurts, but it also hurts when I don't move it. It's this weird, like, tingly thing. But yeah, no, kicking out like while sleeping is also part of it.
Well, do you ever feel like
A plastic bag.
do you have I get this sensation of like falling.
yeah.
It's like I missed a step, and now I fucking hate
Yep.
that. Because then I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in the void,
laying there
but
and then
everything's
it's like,
fine. What are your sleeping habits?
How
Oh
do
my
you sleep?
God. I sleep like a baby. I'm just
Oh man,
crying
I'm
and
so
pissing
jealous.
myself every 20
Oh.
minutes. It's
I'm
horrible.
not jealous. Never mind.
No, but I sleep. I don't know. It doesn't, like, with the pandemic, it doesn't even feel like I sleep. It's just I kind of pass out and just go into the next day. You know what I mean? It's just one continuous cycle. It's
Yeah.
not like some people have, like, they put on their pajamas and they prepare and they like wake up well rested. It's never like that for me. It's just like playing Splatoon until I just pass out.
That's
But
me with Animal Crossing. Just
lately
laying there.
I've been having a lot of lucid dreams, which is weird. Like fully aware that I'm like dreaming. It's not like every night. It's not like some nothing amazing, but like every once in a
Yeah.
while, more than often. Like more. It's just weird. I'm like, yo, I'm actually fucking aware that I'm dreaming. It's just weird. I don't know. I feel like I have weird sleep patterns. Also, I snore
Dude,
like
Oh, really bad.
I've been told it's horrendous. Do either of you like have problems with snoring?
I don't know, Allison.
Would you even
yeah,
know, right?
um,
I snore. I don't remember if Andy snores. I think you
I
might a
do when I
little.
have allergies really bad, but I tend to be a stomach
Yeah.
sleeper, so I'm like smushed into the into this pillow, so you wouldn't even hear it otherwise.
Oh
But
my god, a
yeah, I
stomach
know.
sleeper. I've
I
never.
pass out like a
I, s-
toddler.
Oh my god.
I still sleep like I'm in a fucking sarcophagus. Like every night, I'm just like, no,
You
literally.
know,
I wish I could
Literally.
do that. That would help my back so much.
right?
But I can't.
I'm disgusting.
Sometimes I just don't feel comfortable unless I'm on my stomach. I don't know why. But yeah, lucid dreaming, that's crazy. I do that
So
sometimes.
weird.
And or when you're like, okay, this doesn't feel good. I need to wake myself up now, you know.
Oh my god, I have it
Yeah.
all the time. It's so weird how like you just wake up right before the conclusion. You know what I mean of your dream. It's like
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like I just think about shit like that a lot. Like, why do you wake up right then? Or like deja vu and all kinds of shit like that. It's just, is that even considered paranormal or spooky? That's just
Yeah.
like
I mean,
some odd things that happen that I'm like, why did that happen?
yeah.
Like, you ever just have something happen and you're like, I dreamt about this. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
recognize this. What is that?
Definitely.
Oh, like in real life. You mean
Yes.
like when
When
you're
you're
awake?
awake,
Yeah.
you're like, I
Yeah.
saw this in a dream. What the fuck?
You're
Or like
like
you can predict something that happens. It's like, I don't like that. That shit makes you scared. I don't know.
I get deja vu a lot. Like really frequently. It's weird. I'm like, I already remember this. I remember this happening. It's bizarre. I get
Yeah.
that more often than like dreams happen in real life, but deja vu, that happens to me like every couple of days. It's ridiculous. I'm just like, what's going wrong in my brain? Why is this doing it so much? What's happening?
Can I be
Do it.
honest? This is gonna get me fucking hashtag
Again?
canceled,
Oh my
probably.
Just
god.
kidding.
I'll just be double canceled at this point. It's cool. You're
Hashtag
problematic,
problematic.
save. All I was gonna say is like, okay, I started taking
Hmm.
these stupid meds, and then on top of melatonin, like, I've had 3 dreams about me being a murderer.
Whew. I have to go. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, because it's like in the
Yeah.
dream, it's weird though, because I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Oh my God, that's fucked up, Allison. Hey, stop,
Whack.
stop. But then I'm just like, I'm like
Yep.
in the dream, I can't do anything about it. And then I wake up and I feel like a jackass. I mean, they were figments of my imagination that I killed off, but they didn't deserve
Yeah, no,
that.
I feel that way anytime I do something really like mean or shitty in a dream. I'm like, damn, where did that come from?
I don't know. Have you ever like done the default Google search? Murderer, dream,
Like what
meaning.
it means.
What did it say?
Let me remember.
Prosperity
What
and good
do
fortune.
Right? You're a great person.
no? I think it was like damn girl boss, you need to cut off that dead fucking weight.
Oh
No, it
my
was
god.
dreams that you're a murderer are common among people who are feeling depressed,
Me.
Oh.
and they can often signal
Oh,
repressed aggression or rage
shit.
at yourself or
Yeah,
So
we're just getting
big.
someone.
called out by a Google search.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. You have Lyme disease, cancer, gay.
All of it.
You're already dead.
Incognito
As
tab,
Google searches.
search how to be strong. Pain. An essential aspect of your emotions have been cut off. If you're being chased by the murderer in question, it could mean that you're trying to outrun an aspect of your emotions. What is this? I don't understand what this means. I'm gonna repress it.
I don't want it. I'll think about it
For
later.
2015, that shit is outdated as hell. It can mean anything now.
Right?
Mm.
Oh
Right.
my gosh.
So far behind.
Man, is that Mildred or is that Jasper?
So was that your... Oh, it's Mingu.
Maybe.
She has 4,000 nicknames. Don't listen
Mildew
to me.
is my favorite.
Peter, was that your scary
No,
story?
that wasn't
Or do you
it.
have like a
Deja vu.
like a haunt of
Um,
some
spooky
sort?
story.
It's like, it's not even really that spooky because I don't have much knowledge about it, and it was years ago. It was just like a one-time thing. Should I just get into it right now? Is it early in the podcast?
No,
Should I
you
just-
go for it. It's your time.
Okay.
No. Tear it up.
So I used to live in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and my friends would drink a lot of Smirnoff Ice and just do random shit. And I was just
I
like,
feel that.
well, I don't really drink, and that stuff doesn't seem very fun. They were like, they told me about some bridge that, like, if you drive there at night and you park your car on it, your engine will like turn off like immediately. Like, I didn't know what else was going to happen from there. I was just like, okay, so you want me to get in this car, go with y'all into the woods, and we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till it turns off.
For my car to
And,
die.
and then what? And then what's the plan? And then we turn it back on and leave. I feel like it'd be too late at that point.
Right?
So I went. And it's just going deep, just deeper into these woods. And I was just like, man, this is like, I feel like this is a bad idea. I was like 18 at the time, and like, I just seen Paranormal Activity, so I was like, this is how my story ends. So then they parked the car. Y'all gonna kick me off this podcast. You're gonna delete this
No.
episode. I'll tell you what happened. So they park it,
Oh,
and we're just sitting there, and it doesn't turn off.
What?
And then we just left. But
Still?
but then it turned off later down the road. That shit scared the fuck out of me.
It was like, I ain't done.
The ghost was like, hold up. It didn't turn off like right on the bridge, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I was just sitting there like just waiting for fucking Jeepers Creepers to kill me. And it was like,
how long did y'all wait?
I feel like we waited for like a minute, like 30 minutes, like a while.
Dang.
30 minutes is a long time when you're just waiting for an apparition to kill you.
Doing
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
So then we go, and it just like started seizing or whatever the fuck, like on the road back out. I was so scared.
I would not.
This is it. I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was a mix of like laughter, but also genuine fear. Or maybe I was the only one feeling genuine fear. But they turned it back on and we kept driving. After that, I was like, fuck any of that. I'm not doing
Scary things no more.
Hey, you made it.
Yeah,
But
you
I
did
made
it.
You
it.
survived.
I would
I feel like
not.
people come on here with fucking whole horror stories and shit. It's like, I don't really
You
put myself in that position to even be like, around a fucking ghost or what's it called? Bigfoot or anything. It's
Oh,
Matt
cryptid.
drink. I know we're recording. Am I allowed to have a beverage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
dude, I'm sipping a pickle beer.
You have... Oh my
Canned pickles.
god. You told me about the pickle
Yeah.
beer. I didn't know it came in cans.
Beer.
I thought you had a jar of pickles. You're pixely again. I thought you were just drinking pickle juice.
No, dude. Best made sour
Oh my god,
pickle
that is the
beer.
pickle beer. Holy crap.
Made in Texas by
Texan Pickles.
The star at night.
Martin
Big
House
and
Brewing
bright.
Company.
Dang. No, but I feel like a lot of scary stories like that, there's always some bridge, there's always some place out in the woods, and it's always
Yeah.
like something happens to your car. That was the first one I brought up, was a San Antonio legend we had of parking your car over railroad tracks. And that was just bringing it up. I was like,
remember
oh
that.
my god, if there's railroad tracks, I'm gonna freak out.
No, it wasn't railroad track.
Dang, I
It's
don't know what I would
always
have done.
railroad tracks or a bridge, just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
And
every time.
we talked about it last time. Like, I don't know if it's just ominous or like any sort of industrial vibe makes it scary, but like, what is it about bridges and railroads that have such like bad vibes and hauntings and stuff, you know? Do you
I
know?
don't know, but they
Pick
do.
me, pick
All
me,
right.
pick me. I know
Am I
why.
pointing at you?
No, I pick me. Pick,
You've been
pick me.
picked.
Okay, so the reason this is my theory, okay, from my big, juicy, fat
Yeah.
brain, is
No
that,
smoothness.
you know, anytime I drive over a bridge, I still get the fear of, like, I'm gonna fucking die. This is unstable. Like, it could
Yeah.
collapse at any minute.
That's
Maybe
why.
that's why. Because it
Because
feels
everybody's like,
unstable. I'm fucked up. Never
no.
mind. Don't
They're
listen.
Yeah,
sending
that's
their bad vibes into the bridge. I just want to make sure I followed. I get that. I get you. I feel like there's people
Yeah.
like who a lot of deaths around bridges and railroads from like accidents and stuff too. Probably just a bunch of bad stuff going on there.
Yeah.
I don't
Hey.
really like bridges anyway, in general. During the day, at night, especially not at night. Like
Or
just
when it's icy.
Oh
oh my god.
no, no.
The fucking worst.
I spun out almost on a bridge coming back home a few months
I think you
ago.
told me about that. I think I remember
And
that.
it rattled my car so freaking bad, it changed its, like, interface to French.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
Oh no.
It was like, oui, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Parlez-vous français? Say omelette du fromage.
Omelette de fromage.
I'm not even gonna try French because I will ruin it. I'll kill the vibe if I try to do a French accent.
do it, do
Oh,
it.
that's all you have to do. Or say croissant. That's the meme, right?
Croissant.
Croissant.
See, there it is.
Croissant.
Croissant. That's
A
awesome.
W A S S I A N T.
Croissant. That is great.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, all right.
Hey, tell us your tale, Andy.
I will tell y'all my tale. It is a Hungarian tale, if that places anything for you. Does the name
Elizabeth Bathory.
mean anything to you?
No.
Really? Interesting.
Mm.
She is known by many names. Probably the most famous is the Blood Countess or Countess Dracula. Basically,
Sexy.
yeah, she's got the whole vampire lady from Resident Evil vibe.
Oh, big titty, thank God. Dude, I want to be clown goth. I like that.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah, clown goth is, like, in right now.
I'm trying to think
What,
of clown goth. Like
I'm too fucking old, though. I'm 25 now. I turned 25, and I'm like, that means
No more clown gloves.
to dress in, like, stoner,
Oh my
stoner
God.
mom clothes.
25. That's the
all
cutoff.
I can wear.
24 is just freedom.
Yeah,
And stoner mom.
yeah.
switches.
It's all over.
It's all
It's
over
all
now.
over.
Oh
now.
my god.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry
you're good.
for interrupting
I love
you.
that.
Keep going.
So Countess Elizabeth, she is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most prolific female murderer, even though we'll never know how many fully she actually murdered.
Congrats.
Hashtag girl boss, a recurring
Wow,
element
queen.
of our podcast.
Represent.
She had over 300 witnesses for her different murders. So that's just a glimpse of how far her reach is, and that's like at the minimum end of the guess. It's like 300.
What?
That's crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
to think that, of course, this is back then when they didn't really have anything else to do to spend their time. Something we've actually discussed is like a legitimate reason why like the nobility or people of the court got into murder. It honestly is boredom. I'm not even
got
kidding.
got
It.
into murder. The
I always
murder
say that.
scene.
I always say,
They didn't have
no, they
PS4s
didn't. You
back
just gotta
then.
murder people now.
You know how bored you gotta be.
To kill somebody, it's a lot of effort, man. Oh man, yeah. So she was a member of the Hungarian nobility. Basically, what happened is that a bunch of rumors ended up getting her caught, and that was not always the case with these big popular murder cases. When we talked about Jack the Ripper before, the reason it was this big unsolved thing is because these bodies were out in the open. A lot of this torture and all of the crimes that she committed, they were really hush hush and they're really well hidden, and that's why the number is so high, you know. And especially, again, being a member of the court, they get certain privileges that allow them to commit these atrocities without ever really getting caught. It's amazing that she got caught at all. According to the witness reports, the first couple of victims, her first victim type, were 10 to 14-year-old girls.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is weird because typically with female serial killers, you don't really see them killing other women. They
Yeah.
usually if women kill other women, it is usually in some sort of like, it has been in either like a relationship sort of situation, family, custody, things like that, but just a direct woman predatory other woman, not as common for some reason. So that was another thing that stood out about this case. When we had discussed Eileen Wuornos before, she had a very specific target in mind, whereas Elizabeth is just more sadistic. That's what really kind of sets her apart. Kind of similar to Jack the Ripper. Is there a reason? Maybe, but it just seems more like hurting people. Like the desire to hurt people is the reason to it.
Yeah, it just seems like a sport
Jesus.
of
Yeah.
some sort for her.
It reminds me of that short story we read in high school, The Most Dangerous Game. That rich
Yeah.
guy, so spoiler alert, the Most Dangerous Game is basically this rich guy owns a plot of land and he hunts people.
I knew
And
it.
he's like, okay, if you can survive, hooray, but you got 3 days. And he lets him loose, Hunger Games style, and he just kind of kills him down. Yeah, I think that's exactly how they probably saw it. Was just this type.
Was that based on a true story?
I don't
I think it was fiction.
I think
I
it
hope
was
so.
fiction. Yeah, I know. I hope so too.
God
Although
damn.
I wouldn't put it past some billionaire to have a human farm, but whatever.
That's what Elon Musk is doing down at the Starbase.
And
Please
human farm.
elaborate.
Yeah,
Please
don't worry, getting
elaborate.
your cite your sources, sweaty.
Freedom period project.net.
Eat people.
It's just a fucking gut feeling. I can see it in Grimes' eyes.
It's the
that
vibe
something's
you're
not right.
giving me.
Literally, it's his vibe. Most Dangerous Game vibes. Oh my god. Oh man, I love that.
Okay, I don't know if YouTube's gonna take this off because I said that, but that was a joke. I'm not claiming that as fact.
Ding-ling-ling. I'll put a
Strictly
big
joke.
obnoxious disclaimer. So yeah, her first targets are these young women, typically daughters of the lesser gentry, that are actually sent to her to learn etiquette. So they're going to learn manners, and she just kills them. And it's like, that's very rude.
Maybe that's because they would say women should be seen and not heard, or not heard, not seen.
Basically.
Don't exist. Maybe
She's
that's
like,
what she
it's
was
better to
teaching them.
die. Don't do this.
Mondays,
man.
huh?
Ooh.
Mondays?
I hate Mondays.
Ugh, I hate Mondays.
So even before the murders were actually connected to her, there were just a lot of instances of torture, where she would if they did something wrong, they would get burned with hot tongs and then placed in freezing cold water.
Oh.
Man, she's a bitch.
Yeah, no, this one is awful. They were also covered in honey. And then live ants. She put live ants all over their body.
Oh.
So
Whew, yeah.
Well, what did she?
tough
What
crowd.
was her fucking excuse? Whenever,
I mean,
like the parents were just like, I sent her over there to so you could teach her how to do a fucking handshake, and she hasn't
where
come
is she?
home.
Or she
Like,
came home and she's covered in ant bites head to toe. Yeah, I'll
God.
get to what sort of explanation I guess there is, but the short answer is there's not one. She was even suspected of cannibalism. Not to do another throwback to our Donner Party
Aw.
episode.
Oh, where's Mindy?
We can't talk about cannibalism without her.
She's
I
gonna be
forgot.
pissed.
So a lot of these elements of torture, some of them were seen while they were alive, but these were also a lot of inferences made on examining the dead bodies. But there are witnesses of seeing the torture happen in real time. So it wasn't just some serial killers have like a weird fetish of doing things to the dead bodies. I just think Elizabeth was just a straight up sadist, no doubt about it. So eventually there's unrest about it and she gets arrested. A letter comes out where, like you were saying, the parent is like, what happened? Because a dead girl was found and another living, I hate the words that they use. They called them a living prey, in quotation marks, girl.
Ew.
Yeah. So they basically found like a dead body and then a child, like we were talking about with the most dangerous game. And so, of course, the kingdom is like, well, if all of this, gets out, our whole kingdom is come to ruin, And
God forbid.
God forbid your kingdom comes to ruin if there's some justice out here about this awful case,
Yeah.
I feel like not again to throw it to like what's happening now, but like the whole thing with the Epstein case and bringing out more of the upper people who are involved in these things. It always comes down to their image and never about the people that are hurt, you know what I mean? It's just the
Right.
same
Yeah.
thing. Just all the way back then, So they're like, okay, how are we going to deal with this bitch? She's obviously crazy. So a trial and an execution would have caused a huge public scandal. Like we were saying, everything would be disgraced, but also that all of her property would have been seized by the crown. So again, capitalism and the justice system.
Property.
That's more important. What? Yeah.
Jeez.
Again, still alive and well, even back then. So then they were like, okay, we don't really know what to do with her. Let's send her to a nunnery, because that's basically prison.
That'll
guess.
fix her.
Obviously, no, that's not gonna work. I know, I'm just like, how stupid. I don't even know if it was stupidity or just like desperation at that point.
Yeah.
Or maybe even they just think that, maybe she was demonic to some extent based on everything that she did. But as the rumors got spread around, it said that the best way to deal with this is to just keep her under house arrest and just avoid any further punishment.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll fix it.
Yep. Even those servants were confirming the torture and to the king's witnesses and everything, they were all executed for speaking out about this.
Jesus Christ. So how'd they make sure that bitch stayed inside? Like, they didn't have the ankle bracelets back then. So did they just get like a can and tie it to a string and put it on her ankle?
She's
Yeah,
got
so
a
you
belt.
can hear
She's got
her.
a cat girl collar just around her neck.
Ew.
I think what we're forgetting here is that women weren't allowed outside already. Basically,
Aww.
without like an escort, you know what I mean? So like,
Bring that back.
what?
God.
Say, love, what are you doing out? It's a wee bit late, isn't it?
It's always been late, isn't it?
Bit late, isn't it, love? And she just fucking kills him. Oh my god.
Exactly. That would probably be how it would go down. But yeah, I think that's how the house arrest is. It's basically she barely left the property anyways, being a daughter of the nobility. So, but now it was like, well, now you can't ever go anywhere ever. She did later die. Oh, actually, I forgot about this. she's alive still. She's immortal.
Oh,
it was all the blood she drank. She did write a will, which I think is hilarious. As somebody who killed possibly almost 300 plus people, like, is just gonna plan their own death. I don't know why I find that just ironic.
Really think about 300 people. Like, I'm not doubting it. It's just wow.
That's like the population of Lubbock.
300?
Really?
It's a lot of people. No, it's
like 3,000 Allison, you're dumb. I mean, Lubbock is a small Texas town. Don't we're not, saying it's some big place, but it's not like 300 small. But on the eve of August 20th in 1614, to provide further context, she goes up to her bodyguard. She's like, my hands are cold. I need you to deal with this. Ooh. And he's just like, he's straight up, he was like, I don't give a shit. He's like, it's nothing. Go to bed. And so she's like, okay. And the next morning she woke up dead. Oh. And that's literally
Why are we saying all? Okay.
Yeah. She
300 people, bro.
Yep.
She froze to death? Oh my god.
I know she didn't freeze to death. I don't know. She was just cold. I don't know what sort of like.
If you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside.
Bring your serial killer niece of the nobility inside.
Send Elizabeth to hell. 300 people. You're cold.
Right.
And they were cold.
How it feels to chew 5 gum.
Stimulate your senses.
Well, maybe I'm not understanding. I don't know. 300? That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. And her reputation was so her reputation has gone off in a couple of different directions. There's even a group of people who think that she was actually the victim of a conspiracy, and it wasn't her. That there was a big politically motivated reason to pin it on her. But I feel like the testimony of the children and the servants kind of kicks that in the butt. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
I know exactly what you mean.
I doubt that it wasn't her, because they would have to have been directly involved with the etiquette school, and they weren't.
Big Liz did it.
Yeah,
what if they were offered a few spare crumpets to testify against
They were given a potato and nothing more.
Glass of water, crust of bread.
Oh yeah.
Imagine being hungry and you're given a potato, a dusty small potato.
Inedible.
I love that.
Oh my god, when I was like 5 or 6, I ate a raw potato thinking it was a raw onion, and I was like, oh, this is disgusting. Mom, this onion is bad. She's like, that's a potato, you idiot.
Raw onions are definitely better than grilled onions. I want to go on record to say that.
Oh,
I don't eat them like apples. I don't eat onions, but I'm saying like I'd rather have raw onion. You know what I mean? Than like I don't like the texture of grilled onions. I don't know. Is that just me?
I like grilled onions, but I also love raw onions. It depends on the thing.
Me too.
Depends on where it's going.
Yeah.
I prefer raw onions on a burger. Raw on a burger is the way to go.
Exactly.
Nobody wants mushy caramelized onions on a burger.
Okay.
But real quick before we switch off, so she was crazy, whatever. But she some accounts of the history of her. There's been some debate on how accurate they are, but there is some reference to blood baths, like her bathing in blood, and. The reason she's known as Countess Dracula is linked into that. A lot of her torture and stuff had bloodletting. She did a lot of blood-related things. And some of the cannibalism. I don't think it's cannibalism if you drink human blood, but anyway.
I'll drink to that.
She is said to have been the inspiration of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Ew.
Yeah. So there we go.
Congrats,
That's
girl.
my story on Elizabeth Bathory. Sorry.
Terrifying story, honestly.
Yeah, just another Hungarian person killing children.
Oh, okay, episode.
Oh, how cute.
It's been a long fucking day.
We
Okay.
got this. We're here. We're ready for your story.
All right. Who here knows about
I
Tarrare
don't.
or
Watched a
Tarrare?
video 10 million years ago and I remember
All right.
nothing.
All right. Tarrare was a French showman and soldier noted for his unusual
I don't like
appetite and
this.
eating habits. Able to eat vast amounts of meat. He was constantly hungry.
Shut up.
His parents could not provide for him, and he was turned out of the family home as a teenager. He traveled France in the company of a band of thieves and sex workers before becoming the warm-up act to a traveling charlatan. In this act, he would swallow corks, stones, live animals, and a whole basket of apples.
This is going to go left so fast.
You're telling me this man. What animals, Allison? You tell me right now.
You'll know.
Okay, go ahead.
He then took his act to Paris, where he worked as a street performer. At the start of the War of the First Coalition, and I don't know what that fucking is, Tarrare joined the French Revolution Army, where even quadruple the standard military ration was unable to satisfy his large appetite. He would eat any available food from gutters and refuse heaps, but his condition still deteriorated through hunger. He was hospitalized due to exhaustion and became the subject of a series of medical experiments to test his eating capacity, in which, among other things, he ate a meal intended for 15 people in a single sitting, ate live crabs, snake, lizard, and puppies.
No! Alphonse, you did not hear that. Close your ears.
And swallowed eels whole without chewing.
How?
Despite his unusual diet, he was underweight, and with the exception of his eating habits, he showed no signs of mental illness other than that was described as an apathetic temperament.
You're describing Andrew.
He was like, yeah, whatever, and would just like eat a meal for 15 people.
No.
General Alexander de Brujarinais, however the fuck you say that, decided to put Tarrare's abilities to military use and employed him as a courier for the French army with the intention that he would swallow documents, pass through enemy lines, and recover them from his stool once safely at his destination. Tarrare, yeah.
So like prison. He's
Tarrare, yes. Tarrare could not speak German, and on his first mission was captured by Prussian forces, severely beaten, and underwent a mock execution before being returned to French lines. Chastened by this experience, he agreed to submit to any procedure that might cure his appetite, and was treated with laudanum, tobacco pills, wine vinegar, and soft-boiled eggs. The procedures failed, and doctors could not keep him on a controlled diet.
This man, he's just hungry.
He would sneak out of the hospital to scavenge in the gutters, rubbish heaps, and outside butchers' shops, and attempted to drink the blood of other patients in the hospital and eat the corpses in the hospital morgue.
What's his name?
No.
What's his name?
How do you spell?
How do you spell it?
Tarrare.
Tarrare.
After being suspected of eating a toddler, he was ejected from the hospital. He reappeared years later in Versailles with a case of severe tuberculosis and died shortly afterwards, following a lengthy bout of extreme diarrhea.
Oh my god.
He died of dysentery.
So this happened in about 1772. Yeah, his parents literally kicked his ass out because they were like, "Dude, we can't feed you.
You're eating us out of house and home."
Tarrare.
Sorry.
We just can't fucking feed you." He was known to eat like over the course of a year like 300 cats.
Why?
He would eat
Why?
cats.
Why?
Why? Does it taste good?
He
I don't think so.
He fucking did. There was one time he was given a wheelbarrow filled with 30 pounds of raw bull's lungs and liver, and he immediately ate all of it.
I
30
So it's
pounds.
30 pounds each, right? Or total?
No, like all together, but it was just 30 pounds of like
Raw meat.
bull lung. Yes.
Why? Why?
People would go outside and they would see him dead ass like fucking whooping on some dogs, fighting them for like scraps.
Are you serious? Oh my
Yeah,
god! This boy is hungry.
but
I looked up Tarrare on Google
So hungry,
Images,
but
and I hate this. It's so.
Oh no! Oh, I gotta look it up now.
It's just weird.
he was described as having like really thin lips and like super wide
Oh.
cheeks and like his stomach, he was skinny, right? But his stomach would stretch so far when empty, he could wrap
What?
it around his waist.
What?
So,
no.
and when he died, the doctor, okay, so they kicked him out of the hospital originally because 14-month-old child, nope, 14-month-old child
Yeah.
went missing. And they were like, Tarrare? And he was like, sorry, guys. And they kicked his ass out. He came back with tuberculosis, and fucking died. And the doctors were like, damn, that dude was crazy. Like, let's do surgery on him. And they looked like down his gullet. It was said to be abnormally wide. And when his jaws were opened, they could see down the canal into his fucking stomach.
Like a frog?
And it was, yes, and it was filled with pus. And like
Oh, that's so gross.
his stomach was covered in ulcers.
Wow.
God damn. I bet.
He could, I mean, this fool could fit like 12 eggs into his mouth. So,
Oh,
anyways, he, that's Tarrare. That's
terrarifying.
That's my story.
Awful.
That's an amazing story. I never knew that existed. What? Oh.
The
So relatable, right?
no.
The puppies part, no. Also the toddlers part. Also the cats. The bull
Also the
livers.
raw meat.
Just not, no.
No, it's not.
You're surprised he died of tuberculosis out of anything.
Yeah, I know. Like
Yeah.
All the shit he would eat off the ground.
fighting with dogs. Get your throat ripped out. I'm even thinking just not even food based, but my god, his lifestyle.
His lifestyle. Stop.
He's an influencer. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
He was the original mukbang.
People, that's
my
true.
God.
Like, they still don't know. He's like a medical anomaly. Like, they don't know what was wrong with him. Like, some people are thinking it might have been like an extreme form of hyperthyroidism.
Yeah, maybe.
Or like some crazy like bout of diabetes? I don't know.
But the thing is, there is a specific condition where you don't get the sensation of being full. It has I'm gonna look up what it is. There is a specific condition. I wonder if he had that on top of it.
I mean, but bro was eating like full eels. Like that's
Yeah, like live, just.
that's the part that fucked me up. A eel?
Oh, it's
Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
no.
Just eat a sandwich at that point.
Eat food, not just live animals, but things that are made to be eaten.
Oh, and this is obvious. I forgot to mention this, but people like could not be within like I forgot how they phrased it. They were like 20 paces within this fellow because he smelled like dookie ass shit, rotten carrion ass. Like he smelled so bad, and I don't know if it was because of his diet or if he was just constantly like shitting and
Everything he
farting
ate.
because he ate so
like,
much.
how do you not hurt? Like,
Oh, but he would eat all that, and then they would watch his little ass go to bed. he would just sleep. He wouldn't wake up to shit, like nothing. He would just keep sleeping through the
He's
night.
like a bear.
It was just fine.
He's like hibernating. But every day.
But every day.
That is
anyways, that's
crazy.
my
How
That was a crazy story. You have shocked me.
it's the live animal part that I still can't get over. And I can't even and I eat meat. That's not the problem.
Oh, so you're upset about the live animal and not the 14-month-old
That's an
baby?
That's
animal.
crazy. Oh my god.
People would just be like bloodletting, like in a bed. And
I'm
he would
sorry,
just go
what
there
is
and be like,
bloodletting?
It's back when they didn't have medicine and they were just like, oh, if you have a cold, just dump out a liter of O positive. You'll be fine.
I'm so glad it's 2021.
Science.
Oh, I miss the old days, like during the bubonic
Yeah.
plague. And they were like, "Oi, governor, I'm fucking dying," and they were like, "Take some cocaine, like with
Here's
piss
meth.
sprinkled on
You'll be
it."
fine.
Yeah, and what was the other shit they would
Lead.
eat? Mercury. Yes.
What was
All
the
of
other
it.
thing?
Oh man.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is weird that it all came down to TB in the end. Not some sort of because even there's stomach condition. Like your stomach can burst from eating too much. So how?
I know, I've been there.
How does he do? How?
I don't know.
It was God. It was Jesus.
It was Jeebus.
Oh, thanks.
It's the. It's also the stomach belt that I also can't really vibe with. You know what I'm saying? Where
Like the skin.
yeah, that's terrifying. He would expand so far and it would just all go back.
My favorite thing about it is like he didn't know what to do with him. Like military, the hospital, nobody knew what to do with this
His
fool.
parents.
So they were like, yeah, they were like, swallow this box with like a secret document to take over enemy
And then
lines to a
shit.
war prisoner of ours. And he was like, you've got it. And he goes, and then he gets caught because he can't speak German. And they're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, okay, I have like a note inside of me. And so they strapped him up and he sat there for 30 hours until he shit it out. And all the note said was just like, hey, did you get this? Get this note, dude? Like it was nothing of importance.
Oh my god, that's wild.
I'm thinking, what was Tarrare like? You know, like outside of food, he's probably a shitty dude. Cause like, if that's your situation and that's just your environment, he couldn't have. Like, was he into golf? You know, was he into? Did he read? I feel like nothing else.
No.
He ate.
He just ate food and fought animals and then ate them.
It was basically like just a zombie.
So bad.
Because he was
wild.
described like he was basically described as being like not even like really ugly. He had like really fair hair and it was like thinning and like so that could have been like a sign of some fucking health condition. And he also like his temperament, he just didn't care about anything but food. Like that was his whole thing. He had nothing else.
That's just a one track mind kind of guy. But also hyperphagia is the inability to feel full. So that dude had hyperphagia.
Yeah, apparently.
He had just a void in his tummy. That's terrifying. And the way his like throat and mouth was described, it does sound like a snake. Like I understand what they mean. He just like unhinged and just was like.
What part of Texas do you think you'd be from?
Oh my god, Beaumont.
Yeah, I was gonna say Beaumont swamp people.
Were you really?
Yeah. And I'm
Why?
from Beaumont. Because
Why Beaumont?
it's the path to
by
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Did we say the same thing? Did you say Louisiana?
Yes, we said the same fucking
It's
thing.
on the way to Louisiana, that's why.
Oh my god.
That
Sorry to our
chill.
Louisiana listeners. My family's from
I'm not
Louisiana. We're
sorry.
Cajun. I can talk shit about it.
I have family in Louisiana, and I want to fight all those
Oh
fuckers.
yeah,
So if
that's
you're
where the
listening,
SoundCloud rapper is, huh?
yeah, that bitch. Anyways,
Damn. I never know what kind of shit we're gonna talk about on this podcast, because, like, we got such a broad spectrum of just creepy, weird, and just. I think this is gonna be a cool episode. I can keep this in or not. I'm just bragging on your choice, Allison. I think it was a really cool story. Cause,
thank you.
Cause it's creepy in a way that's not like scary. It just makes you go like, I don't like.
I feel like this is a pretty lame story, but I'm still gonna tell it. It's like
Ah,
you know Zach Wilson, right, Allison?
I
Yeah,
love him.
yeah. Shout out Zach. Me and Zach were walking back to his house, and we're walking through this apartment complex at night, and it was just we were talking about Hereditary, which I don't know how you guys feel about
Oh.
that movie. That's like my
Fuck me
my
up.
all time favorite movie, but it's fucking genuinely terrifying.
I love
it
that
is.
movie.
So
And
good.
we're just walking. I'm talking to him about this movie, and I saw this truck. It was some I don't know, just some commercial van that was sitting right on the sidewalk, and I saw it was so fucking weird. I wish he was here to explain how weird it was. I just saw some black figure just run really quick, and the fucking street lights, all of them turned off at the same time.
Ew, shut up.
No!
And it's like
That's so scary!
it doesn't sound that scary when I explain it over a podcast. It's like the type of thing where you had to be there. But I just
That would
wanted to
scare
get
me.
that story out. We were just walking, and like it was just like you're talking about Hereditary and how weird it is.
Yeah.
I swear, because Zach didn't see it. I saw it. Just something ran, and it ran fast. You know, like it wasn't that normal, just a dude running. Something ran real fast. Sort of like that.
Man.
Yeah.
I
That's
was like,
wild.
Is that payment? Oh god, is
was
that
Payman,
King
yeah.
Payman?
Oh.
I saw something run, and the lights turned off,
Oof.
and I was just like, Zach.
We gotta go.
Oh my god! Like, do you have any stories like that? Just these little, very sporadic moments where you're like, "Oh shit, that wasn't normal." You know what I
Listen
mean?
to the episode that's gonna come out before this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just
That is
recorded
the
one.
entire episode.
I have had one thing that's not in there because it's not like a ghost, but I
Mhm.
have seen what I swear to this day was a literal chupacabra because there was no other way to describe what I saw.
Oh
But
my god!
you know where my parents' house is, Allison.
Yes.
It's out in the middle of nowhere. And so I'm driving, and it's very curvy road, and it's in the country, so there's no street lights. If you and in Texas, I don't know of what Pennsylvania is like, but in Texas, the it's dork.
Yeah.
It's dork, and like if you don't have your brights on, you can't see anything. So
Yeah.
I don't have my brights on yet because it wasn't like that dark, but by the time I had gotten home, it was like pitch black. And I'm going to turn my brights on. And we always have to watch for like deer jumping over. Especially when we're going around the corners. There's one really bad corner back by where our friend Ben used to live. That's like
Yes.
completely blind turn. So I'm coming around that turn, and as I'm rounding it, I turn my brights on, and at the edge of the road is this like white and gray, like bald creature running on like all fours. It looks like a hairless dog. It looked like a hairless dog. Like if you took one of those like Mexican hairless dogs and like poofed them up and then just no hair. It was just like it had skin. You know, like the hairless cat, the
Yes.
texture it has. It was like that, but it was like white. It was like white and gray, and I couldn't really see its face, but I saw it from like the ear back, and I was like, "That's not a dog build. That's not a cat build. What is that?" And of course, I'm going around this turn,
Yeah.
so I'm like, "Wah!" trying to get back on the
Dude,
road.
okay, I have something to admit to you.
What?
So I snuck out that night.
That was
It was
you.
a crazy night. I was trying to get home before anyone knew.
That was you just screeching as you're running on all fours.
Butt-ass naked, like, in the woods, feral.
That's great. But yeah, I've
Vibe.
had some pretty freaky encounters that aren't specifically ghosts per se, but it's just weird. Like that doesn't look like something that exists. What's happening?
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's creepy.
Well, this has been
Yeah,
a good
this was a
episode,
lot of
y'all.
fun. Thank you for being on our podcast, Peter.
Yeah, I love it. It's like I
Yeah.
forgot we were like recording for real. I'm just
Oh,
thinking about Tarrare.
I know. I can't get it out of my mind.
And then like Elizabeth killed 300 people? 300? That's
Yeah.
like on record. That's so many people.
And that's like 300,
Lot.
probably more, you know?
I don't fuck with 20 people. It's like
300 is an insane amount.
Jesus Christ. Trying to think of something else before we go. Is there like a time limit? Are we about to wrap it up?
No, you can say whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put it in. I'll put it in anywhere.
When I was younger,
A young boy and my father.
you're going to Hollywood. When I was I don't know why I used to go on fucking crimetv.com and I used to read like cases about like murderers and cults and fucking serial killers and all this crazy shit. And it's just like, were you guys like into it at an early age, like horror or just
Yes.
these fucked up things? That shit always made me feel like I was crazy. Like I would genuinely spend afternoons, my free time, like homework's done. Okay, now I'm gonna read about Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. Were you guys always into horror and just crime and murder and these horrible things?
What's fucked up about me is it's like I did the same exact shit on my free time, and I had just researched like evil scientists or something. I was like 12, and then I go to school and we're supposed to do like presentation on like a great scientist, and everyone's doing like Einstein, and I did Vladimir Dimitrov, fucking Russian scientist that would get a dog and then graft another dog's head
Oh!
onto the dog. So it was a two-headed dog, and it would.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you remember?
Yep.
I was obsessed with him, and he got like one of them. He got one of them to live for like a month, and both of the heads were kind of sentient. They would lap up food and shit.
Yeah.
But he would like do surgeries and get him to function. Anyways, I'm fucked up. I get it.
Yeah, I was always into I think I got into like crime first, and that was like the segue into like the serial killers, because I would always watch what is it called? It's not a cops show, but it's Animal Cops on Animal Planet.
Okay.
I would watch the animal police.
Like a game warden?
No. So these are people where you're like, if you suspect that there's like a puppy mill or like a dog fighting ring, or if you think there's like animal abuse happening, you report it to them.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be an animal cop. And then that grew into I'm gonna be in the CIA. And then I was like, I should probably start looking into government stuff. And then I started watching all these crime stuff. And then I liked the supernatural stuff, so going to serial killers just kind of seemed like the next step. Because I already liked, and honestly, like if I'm being real, growing up in like a Hispanic household, they're very superstitious. They talk about ghosts and spirits and legends and stuff all the time. So that was kind of like ingrained in me from day one. But getting into serial killers and stuff, I was probably about like 9 or 10 because of the song "The Ripper" by Judas Priest. I was like, "What's that?" And then it was Jack the Ripper, and I was like, "Oh God!"
I used to read about. I'm sorry. Were you about to say something?
No, I just said, oh yeah.
Okay. There's this murderer, Albert Fish. I'm sure you guys know who that is, right?
Mhm.
And like,
Oh.
I was getting it. Like, I got into Albert Fish. I read about.
I got into it.
And then there's this band called the Number 12 Looks Like You that I fucking fell in love with, and they were so good. And I found out some of
Oh,
their lyrics
yeah.
were like about Albert Fish, and it just
Oh.
reinforced
way.
that like
The
not,
love.
I really don't want to say love for serial killers. All right, everybody listening, hey, look,
Okay, so
I get you.
I mean, it's crazy interesting 'cause
understanding, I guess. Yeah.
it's really interesting. You could still be like, "Hey, man, that's
Don't
fucked up,"
murder.
but also like, "How did you do that? Like, why?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, how did this come to
Oh my
be?
god. I think the first like time I got into just, I guess, darker or just things that besides fucking Saturday morning cartoons. I was at my dad was over his friend's house and I was there and there was just nothing on the TV to watch, and Bowling for Columbine was on the fucking TV. And I just like, I didn't know what it was. I was just watching something that was on the screen. You know, the adults were in the other room. This was just on the TV. I started watching it and I was just like, holy fuck. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It was just like so bad. It was just like, you know,
Yeah.
you haven't seen it, right?
Yeah.
And then that turned into like watching like Loose Change. Do you remember that?
What's that?
It was like the documentary about like conspiracy theories and 9/11 and
Oh.
shit.
Uh-huh.
And then Zeitgeist, just all of this very fucking internet, you know, like nowadays, I guess the modern version is like that YouTube guy who talks like this.
The YouTube murder guy.
There's an urban legend. Some say he's still loose to this day. It's like shit like that. Or like creepypasta.
Yeah,
I don't know.
uh-huh.
I've always loved shit like that. But when it comes to my actual life, no, I don't really encounter this shit. I just read about it and love to hear about it. It sounds like you guys fucking went through goosebumps. There's always some
I
shit
know.
happening. Like, what the
Literally.
fuck?
Yeah, definitely listen to some of our older episodes.
Is that
It-
just
it
like a
gets stupid.
southern thing? Is
We've
it South
talked
haunted or
about
something?
that like literally.
Oh, we're just
We're
cursed.
cursed, but
Y'all are just cursed.
it's just us two. Yeah, nobody else.
Don't you hate when that happens?
No, I legit think like, especially the city we grew up in for the most part in San Antonio, for the first part of our lives, it was a very haunted area and is like as famous for like hauntings and ghost stuff as it is for like everything else is famous for, like the Spurs
Yeah.
and the Riverwalk and everything. So like I think it's just the culture of the area, and it's very again Hispanic influence, which is all superstitious and always being open about like ghosts and spirits and stuff. So that it's probably a cultural thing. I've never actually stopped to think about it. Yeah, we do have a lot of spooky, weird encounters with shit, Allison.
That should be regular. I'm just like, holy shit.
I've had, but I just don't like talk about them because
Spooky.
dumb.
not
I
dumb.
don't know. I'm just like, if I say this out loud,
Say
everyone's
it.
gonna be like,
Say it, say it, say it, say it, say it.
okay.
Say Juan.
Say one. 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 Okay. I'm trying to think what's
It's
too
all good.
morbid.
Say the worst.
Do it.
The worst.
The worst? Well, I think this is just mental illness, like dead ass, but when my mom was in prison for like the 20th
Oh.
time, I was in high school, like, I would fucking, like, guess I was hallucinating. I don't know, but I would swear to God I would see her. Like, she would just come to me because it's like I had idolized her
Yeah.
because I didn't realize she was a piece of shit.
Mhm.
So I would just see her places and I would hear her. I would go down the hallways. I would hear her voice. Like, I would go on a walk. I would see her. I was just like, Mom, you're out of
Oh.
jail. You're like, what the fuck? It was crazy. What else? I used to see shadow people, like, definitely a lot. when I was little, like my mom would leave me home alone for like several days on end. But I would see, maybe I was just hungry.
Like Tarrare.
You can cut all this shit out. No, I would see shadow people. Like I would start up in bed. I would have that falling sensation, right? I would wake up and I would look, and I was just surrounded by these really tall, shadowy figures just watching me sleep all alone.
That sounds like a sleep paralysis demon.
Just go back to bed.
How?
No, don't stop. What
How
the
could
fuck?
you go back to bed after that?
I thought it was normal.
Oh,
I don't know. I was like, are those my mom's friends?
Who's here? Dang, I've definitely seen some shadow things. I'll see things in the corner of my eye sometimes where I'm like, is that my hair, or is that something else? I remember distinctly one time. Apparently seeing like phantom limbs is like a thing, but I swore one time in my old bedroom at my parents' house. You know, I had these like two half walls in the room, and on behind one of the half walls I saw like a foot, but it was like a glowing like bluish gray foot that was like there and then disappeared. Just her foot.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's your fucking grandma.
She says, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass if you don't go to bed, you shit. But yeah, I've seen a hand before. I've seen like a side of a face. And it's always been like in the corner of my eye or behind like a wall or like a ledge. I talked to Kayla, actually, she's the one on the episode with us before. But yeah, apparently it's common to see ghost limbs or something, spirit limbs, whatever they're called.
I appreciate being here, Peter, and
yes.
Thanks, Andy, for your wacky ass stories.
Absolutely.
And...
Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for being on our show again, Peter.
Thank you for having me.
We'll definitely have you back again because we'll talk about more hungry people and bridges.
I'm so down. Like, I'm gonna Google some crazy shit. Like, now I understand.
Yes, okay.
Y'all find crazy stuff and then bring it to the podcast. I thought every episode was just y'all just going back and forth bar for bar about like crazy shit that goes on. I'm like, damn, I'm boring. There's nothing paranormal. Nothing happens to me. You know what I mean? But now I know Tarrare. It's like I gotta look up some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, bring us a crazy story.
I will.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.